What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the TNT Business Podcast. I'm your host, KT Temple, and I am here with my co-host, Ken Temple.
You're here with your very unhappy co-host because today's guest
Oh.
used to be my friend, and now apparently she's your friend. Anyway,
Well, we gave her a new nickname. I thought she was the son you never had.
it's true. It's true. He's better at sports than any of my boys.
All he ever wanted. He had three sons, and all he ever wanted was someone to play sports, and he got a bunch of delinquents instead.
Yeah, the only sport I had one really good athlete, that was Hunter, and he decided to wrestle. The one sport that I didn't do, and
Didn't know how to do.
Yeah, he's an All-American wrestler, but he didn't do me any good. Yes.
So we've got Janelle the Tech on the show with us today. Thank you for joining us, Janelle.
I'm so happy to be here.
Janelle is the regional technology trainer for the South Austin region? South Austin, or South Texas. Can you tell I'm a bit under the weather today? South Texas region. And, I didn't have a topic for Janelle. I didn't have anything. I was just like, Janelle's smarter than me and Kim. Let's just have her on. She'll make us sound good. So we brought Janelle on, and we're going to talk about some marketing today since she just had a great experience at Canva, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to have her on to talk about that. Before we get to that, I do want to thank our sponsor, the Temple Team. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you can find us at thetempleteam.com. We are based in the Charlotte, Lake Norman region, and if you are looking anywhere from Hickory down to Fort Mill, we have agents for all those different areas. And even if you're not looking in that area and you just still need some real estate advice, give us a call. We can connect you with a top real estate professional anywhere in the United States. So again, that's thetempleteam.com. So Janelle, before we get started and we put Kent to sleep, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your journey, career-wise with Keller Williams, wherever you want to start.
Well, first of all, I was really impressed with that intro, by the way.
Thank you.
Second, how did I get my start?
Yeah.
So my parents gave me a broken computer when I was about 13 years old, and it was a hand-me-down, and I asked, what am I supposed to do with this? It's not working. And my parents said, figure it out. And so that's exactly what I had to do. And so I'd actually go to the library and learn about computers, and I learned what was wrong with my computer. And after that, I started fixing my neighbor's computers so that I could get enough money to fix my computer. And so that's where it started. And that's where I kind of got the little entrepreneurial taste. And then I started, at that time, there was a social media, MySpace, and I started charging my friends to code their pages. So I just learned to code. And so then that's when my love for tech started. And then I just carried that on with me, and kind of got in some trouble a little bit with that. And I got kicked off of MySpace for blocking their ads. But I didn't know that they made their money or anything like that. Anyways, I got around that. And I was kind of a teenager with no good intentions, but now I'm white hat. And so that's a lot of change. And I went to college and got my degree in cybersecurity. And ever since then, it's anything technology is what speaks to me. So any kind of avenue, whether that be marketing or AI or anything, it always fascinates me. And I always tell people this, and I think they think I'm joking, but I'm really not. I'm a nerd, and my fun is research. And so I research like every night, like all of the new things. That's my fun. So kind of.
That's how
seconds, I was so excited. I thought we were going to hear this big thing about, how she was like robbing banks, through her computer and transferring money, and she's got $1 billion.
She's a good person. She was robbing corporations.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That was going to be so good. And I was blocking ads on MySpace.
I told you that's where I met my wife, right? We met on MySpace. Like 15 years.
It was a good place.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss MySpace so much.
Me too.
Cool. So, and you just got to go to Canva, like the Canva headquarters, right?
Yeah, so they had an event. It's a huge conference, and it was called Canva Create. And everything they did was so thought out. It was insane and it was so colorful. And, you know, they were really smart about the way that they did things because they knew the colors were going to pop in the pictures, and they provided all of these um, stages and different fun things. And what I was really impressed with is that they had correlated it. Like they wanted you to think fun when you're there. They wanted you to think wow the experience. And I think that really goes down to the have you ever heard of the book The Power of Moments?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know
Really
how,
good book.
yeah, and you know how they really say you're tied to that feeling. So it was kind of everything that they were doing was kind of that wow moment, that wow moment. And I felt so good at the end of the day. I was there's so much dopamine there, I think.
So
That's
Jeanette, I think
awesome.
you should probably give us just the quick 15-second on what Canva is, because some of our listeners
Yeah.
might not know. Just so before we get into the marketing piece.
Yeah, so what Canva is, it's a platform, and the creators of it, it's a digital marketing platform. So anything to create graphics, or now there's AI, anything to that you can digital market with is probably in Canva. And so before Canva came along, there was like Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator to create graphics and those kinds of things. Well, it got to the point where someone would have to have that skill in order to be a great marketer. And there's a lot more to go that goes with being a great marketer. And so Canva came along and they said it shouldn't be rocket science to build a flyer or to make content for websites or anything like that. So then that's when they came in and they made it easy. And that's their goal, to make it easy and user friendly and that anybody can use it. Yeah.
So you mentioned AI earlier, and so like in a world where AI generated content is everywhere, why is there so much push from people like us to create like user generated content instead?
So the thing about it is in marketing, it really has to be consistent, right? And so whenever you're going to AI, yeah, you can plug in certain things. However, there's always going to pull, unless you set those guardrails, they're always going to pull from different sources, and it's not going to be exactly how you like. You may be using credits, and or if you're using one platform, that's not. But there's always going to have to be tweaks. And this kind of makes it set up and go. And now, since it's integrated, it can pull from that and pull from your branding. So the most, I guess, like the biggest benefit that there is staying consistent and then creating your own brand. And so you just stay along with it.
Yeah. What are you seeing that like is because you if you don't know what Janelle's job, she's a regional technology trainer. So her job is to be with the top agents every single day and either figure out what's working or not working. And so first, two questions. What are you seeing that agents are doing around their marketing that is really working? And where do you see people just wasting a whole bunch of time?
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. So right now, what I see is people creating a lot of videos. And I think what's going on is a lot of people take time and make more of the graphics, and it kind of they put like a picture of a house and they put the information, and it's not really eye grabbing. People that are having social media work for them is the people who are doing the hooks, the people who are doing the fun stuff on social media. And it seems so silly. I think at first it was kind of hard for me to wrap my brain around why is this what's getting the most attention, and it's just like a silly little video. Well, think about it. If you're scrolling on social media, you're not going to learn, you're not going to find out information, you're going to take a little break, right? So it's like kind of how do you get that to where it could still be fun but still be informational at the same time, or it could still be appealing to the eye. Or and you see in videos that it's like every 8 seconds if you change your background, people are
Mm,
more likely to stay tuned. So I think really videos are the way to go right now. Plus here's a little tip and trick. People, I mean, software is going to want you to use their software. So, for example, if you are posting on TikTok, make your video in CapCut. because that's related. If you're going to post on Instagram or Facebook, make that video in edits. Now, edits can't really tell what you're doing. So even if you get that video that you created in CapCut or you created in Canva or whatever, just load it onto edits and then post it. And that will actually, and I was A/B testing it and I was saying, okay, how does this video, that's why you've seen so many videos of me lately it's because I've been A/B testing.
You've been doing good. I've been seeing a bunch of content lately. They
Thank
really
you.
inspired you at Canva, didn't they?
Yeah, they really do. And so that's what I've been just testing out, just seeing where, if it matters where you post it through. And it really does. It really does matter. You'd be surprised.
So if I'm starting so tell me what's not working. Where are people wasting their time?
I think on just real wordy graphics or really wordy videos. I mean, captions are great because people are scrolling sometimes and they're not in a place. But I think if it's too wordy or if it's in the music really, really matters, because if you come in and you're just like, oh, it's not going to grab your
Yeah.
attention. So I think that's kind of where it's failing. But I would say try to make it more entertaining and more fun, because when it's not, people scroll right past it.
So one of the things I run into a lot is when we get somebody. So whenever you become a new agent, you have just signed up to start your own business, and a lot of people don't realize that. And one of the scariest, statistics we know is that only 20% of agents renew their license after 2 years.
Mhm.
If I'm a new agent or I'm a new business, what should I be focusing on that actually matters so I'm not wasting my time?
I think there's always going to be a human component to it, right? So I think it's being intentional about what you do on social media to build those in-person relationships, like reaching out to those people, connecting with those people, having events, posting those events, and marketing those events. I think a lot of the time people think that they have to be very just out there right away and just posting information. Be intentional with it. What is your goal? What do you want to do with it? So if you are reaching, make sure you're actually creating those connections. See what your audience is doing, see what your sphere is doing, because at the end of the day, it's those conversations that matter. Oh, I saw that you're doing this. You just said I saw your videos. Like, that is a human component that you're only going to enhance with social media and with technology. I think another thing too, you just kind of reminded me of it, is the type of content that you have. You want to have a variety. So you want to have something that is personal. This is another one of my tricks. Every time I want to post something really important or powerful, I post something personal first, because then that's when you get the interactions. So you get the interactions, you get people who will like it and stuff because they relate more to you. Then after that, you're already on their algorithm radar. Then post what's important, and then it'll get to them as well. So it's kind of twofold on that.
What are some of the branding tips that you know of whenever you're starting off a new business? Like, one of the things I always see that always frustrates me is people just making it their name, right? And it's something, we ran into when my mom started the Pam Temple team. Obviously, that's not our name anymore. If she could go back, I'm sure our name wouldn't be on anything. So do you have any tips and tricks around what's that? You're shaking your head, Dad.
No, and I've always said that we in real estate you get caught into that. You're the Temple team or you're this group, and people put their name into it, and then what you have is a business that becomes harder to sell, or
Yeah.
somebody or somebody to take over. And I've always said if I had to do over it again, it wouldn't be the Temple team. And people say, what would it be? I don't know. It would have been something though that would have been more generic in terms of being able to. And I think people are catching on to that
It
now
does.
ahead of
It
time.
does make it easier to inherit. I'll tell you that much. So
Not from
what?
Texas, it doesn't. But anyway,
So what are your some branding tips that you have?
Um, for one, I would say put some thought into it. Make sure that it represents your mission, your values, and everything like that. You can always go to AI and you say, "I'm trying to brand myself. What are some things that are important?" And you want to make sure to look at all of those things. some of those things that you want to make sure too, and seems really minuscule, but it's your fonts and your
Mm.
colors. I see a lot of the times people want to pick bright colors because they think it'll grab attention, but then they don't really mix well with other colors, you know? So I would say that. And then I see a lot of people going for the neutral because it's really trendy. However, it doesn't grab anyone's attention. Look, it looks kind of like my shoulders, Ken's shoulders. But yeah, I would say that. And then that's a really good point about your name as well. And then checking your tags, make sure that your website name is available before you choose a name, and then that your social media handles are available because you want to stay consistent around the board. And that comes to be a really big issue. So I would say check domains. Anytime I ever help somebody with anything, I say, did you check the domain? Did you see what domains are available? Because people buy domains like nothing. I do. I buy domains when I think that they're going to be popular.
Yeah, we've always been very fortunate that Temple University never really wanted to use the Temple team for any of their stuff because they would give us a lot of competition if they had.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I can see that. No one wants to
Yeah.
know the tech either, but I use my name too.
What one of my favorite things somebody told me was it's stripper rules. Pick a rock, pick a flower. Who cares? You know, that's the least important thing.
I love that. It's really funny because if you've heard like some of the tech names, they're just kind of like splat, or they're just like,
Yeah. Google.
yeah, Google.
Yeah. They're all nonsense words, especially with AI. I mean, like with Nano Banana
Yeah.
is they're all ridiculous. How do you like Nano Banana, Dad? Is that one you use a
I
lot?
know the Savannah bananas, but
I hope you can bananas
got me on
too.
that one.
So Janelle, what are you excited for with because we are in a golden age of technology right now. Things are moving faster than they ever had. What is getting you really excited in the future?
Well, I think a lot of it is within AI. I think this just happened to me the other day, and it just really blew my mind because I started ChatGPT like 3 years ago, and so it had all of my information, and I really didn't. I tried Perplexity, I tried Claude, I tried it all, and yeah, they're all great. Gemini, they're all great. However, I tried Manus the other day, and that one I was trying to do something for 30 minutes in ChatGPT, and I just went to Manus and I just said, "Let me just try this out." 5 minutes and it was done. And so
Yeah.
the fact that technology can catch up at that rate, it kind of changes the game right now because we were so used to, oh, you have to be 2 years ahead, you have to be 3 years ahead. Do you really? You can't be that far behind, but you can catch up. I know a lot of people right now are able to vibe code, so they're able to use AI to help them code something, and then
Hang on. Dad,
What?
I want you to guess what vibe coding is.
What vibe coding is?
Yeah, what do you think that even means?
Hey, today's 420 when we're taping this. Am I close? No.
I
Okay,
mean,
I tried.
you could combine the two if you wanted to. So Janelle, tell us what vibe coding is.
it's when you use AI to help you code. And so you can just kind of tweak it. You tell it, I want to create this. It kind of it gives you a result and some code. And you say, well, this isn't working. I want this. And, these kinds of things. And it does make it easier if you kind of have a little bit of a background because you can see like, okay, this is in the reason why this is not working because of the sequence that it's in, because sometimes it spits out things in the wrong sequence because of the memory issues. But I think that's a cool thing. And then just in Canva itself, I know we talked about Canva, but one of the things that I saw that launched was that you're able to code like a whole page in like Claude or in Manus or anything like that. And you can actually import it into Canva, or you're going to be able to in Canva 2.0. And you will be able to edit it from there. So it won't use your credits or anything like that. And I think I saw that Canva had an acquisition of like 5 AIs, and so it's in that right now we're in that era where it's like, okay, I'll get this AI and I'll get this AI. And we're so um, collaborative at the moment and basically in all of the technologies. It's like, oh, do you want an integration? Do you want an API? And so do you want to integrate into my tech? And do you want to integrate here? And do you want to integrate here? And so that just creates a lot of space for to do anything you would like. So I think that that's what I'm excited for, is just the collaborative environment amongst the technology.
Well, you pointed out something else as well, that you were in one AI, wasn't doing what you wanted, so you went to another one. And I teach these tech classes as well, and I always get people pushing back on, I'm already using this one though, and I think it's a wrong time to pick favorites because we've been looking at on this show we do a lot of just looking at the markets and things like that, and how we are, to me at least, clearly in an AI bubble. And I genuinely don't think half of these AI companies will be here in 5 to 10 years. No, there are no clear winners yet. And I think it's important to be very nimble right now and hey, is this one working? Is this one cheaper? Perfect. I'm going to that one. And being open to change very quickly.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right about that. Did you have a question, Kent?
No,
You have a little smile. So I
I'll check it out. Is we've been using Riverside for like 2.5 years, and I just found out I can raise my hand when I want to talk. So, hey, look at this button.
We have been using Riverside for years.
I'm like, oh, check this out. I can raise my hand. So that's my tech moment for today. I'm glad I could contribute.
And guess what? We're proud of you. We are so proud. They grow up so fast, Janelle.
I really do like Riverside too. It's really cool.
Oh, it's the best. And if you guys, I don't know if we've ever even talked about what we record on here. Riverside helps us to generate so much content so quickly. We're using it for the office now that I'm at. We use it here for the team, but it records. And instead of like I've set up a bunch of podcasts for people, and they'll try to use Zoom, and Zoom records live, like whatever you're seeing, that's what's being recorded. Riverside records locally to your computer and then uploads it afterwards. And Janelle, here's a fun story. We had, I don't even remember who the guy was, but he was by far like the most followed guy. I had over 1 million followers and came on and did the podcast with us, but he left. As soon as we ended, he was gone. And it didn't finish uploading yet. And we could never get in contact with him ever again. So it was never released.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Yep. Lesson learned.
I did a...
Yeah, so don't log off when we get through.
Yeah. That's just a reminder to you, Janelle.
I did a Riverside with Canva, actually, and they were doing a video on me, and that's what she said. And now it makes so much sense because she kept saying, please stay on, please stay on, please stay on. Like she said it so many times.
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, so can I go now? And she's like, oh, just a couple more minutes. So it makes sense.
Well, you can see it in the top left right now. We're at 99% upload, so we should be fine.
Riverside, it used to take longer than it does. So, Jenna, that's actually the second funniest thing that's happened to us. The funniest thing is we had one of my cousins on, and this is when Terrace first came out. We did a great episode on Terrace because she was in international shipping. And the next day, somebody Googled the name of her company that you've never heard of, and the first thing that popped up was our podcast. And I got a frantic call for her going, hey, I didn't realize that. And all she did, she said her company name one time in the podcast. But because the company was nothing out there on it. And she said, please.
Take it down.
So there is a missing episode. When they do the movie about our life, we're bringing it back out. But right now, we're going to keep it locked up.
Or if she just upsets us. She's family.
Just retires. Yeah, once she retires.
I feel like y'all and a cousin. I don't know. I think I need to hear that one too.
So Janelle, any final things that you're just seeing out there that you're excited, that's exciting you, or that's upsetting you, either or that you want to talk about?
I would just say be open. I think, like you said, yes, try that, and also I saw something about embarrassment because I actually get shy a lot, and I get so embarrassed when I make these videos and I watch them, and I hate hearing my voice and things like that. I think just get over it. We see you every day in person. That's kind of one thing is like you're out there and you don't care when you're out there. It's just get over it. Just put something out there. People relate to the more real you. So if you can, the people that I follow are the people that I can tell are authentic. And I think that that's really important. Stay true to who you are, and people will come to you. You'll attract your niche. And so I think that that's important too, because you have to still think about who are, who are you trying to reach. And I will tell you this, if you are just starting a social media, like let's say you're starting a TikTok, do not sync your contacts,
No.
because yeah, it's because you'll attract all those other places and all those other people that normally you wouldn't attract, because your algorithm, once you sync up your contacts, that's who it's putting you in front of. And family and friends are great, but whenever you can reach other audiences, especially in business, that's always going to be better. So I think that's it. And then I know that it's a lot to manage social media. However, the people who are getting the most visibility are the people who have more than one. So, we all know Scott Maloof. He has one for his properties. He has one for everything, for his international, everything. And I think that that's really smart. And God, it's just slipping my mind. What's the guy who spoke at family reunion? Um,
Gary Vaynerchuk?
yeah, Gary V. He also says that is that have multiple channels, because the more that you can attract to each other, the better, and the more that you'll be visible. So I think that that's great too.
Awesome, Janelle. If someone want to get a hold of you, talk to you about tech, or just learn from you, how would they get a hold of you?
So my digital business card is on janellethetech.com. So that's JANNEL, thetech.com. And if you ever forget how to spell my name, it's really easy. Just think channel or flannel, and it's channel. It's Janelle.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, we so appreciate you having we appreciate you coming on to the show. I need to go to sleep. I am dying.
Yeah,
Uh,
KT is a little under the weather, in case you can't tell. And now I know why Janelle never answers me, because I've been sending stuff to Janelle Detect. So,
Oh man, it was so great. Thank you so much for having me. I love being around you guys. It's always just a great time.
Awesome. Guys, thank you for listening to the show. Thank you again to our sponsor, the Temple Team. Remember, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you can find us at thetempleteam.com. We'll be back again with an episode next Wednesday. So if you found this episode interesting, please leave us a review, or just leave us a rating. Really does help us out a lot. And share this with somebody who's looking to get into marketing. We'll see you guys again next week. Bye.